Hello and welcome to EcuadorCentral.com's immigration and visa video. There's three things that we're going to cover here. The first one is going to be the tourist visas. Tourist visas, there's two types. There's a 90-day tourist visa that you would get on your passport if you're coming from a country like the United States or Canada. So if you're just visiting, you have an automatic 90-day visa that's available to you 90 days per year. So if you come for 30 days, you go back home. You come for 30 days, you come back home, and 30 more days, and then that's 90 days for that year. So you can also get a 90-day visa extension once you're here, and there's pros and cons on that, whether you can, you can't. Half the people don't know whether you're allowed to have it or not, and some people say you have to go out of the country. But we've always been able to get the 90-day extensions when we needed them. So the third one is a 6-month tourist visa, which is what you're going to want to get if you're moving to Ecuador and you're now leaving the United States or Canada or wherever for the last time. So you're coming here, you're moving here, and then you're going to attempt to get your residency visa. So you need the 6 months. A lot of lawyers say, oh, no problem, you can do it in 30 days. Anytime a lawyer in Ecuador says no hay problema, which means no problem, then there should be some worry, because there's probably going to be a problem. So the three main types of visas that you would get that are permanent residency visas are the first one is a retirement visa. If you have like $1,000 a month from a retirement fund or from Social Security or something like that, you can get a retirement visa, which enables you to get a permanent residency. Now, after 3 years of permanent residency, you can get citizenship. So after 3 years of any one of these three permanent residency visas I'm going to explain to you, after 3 years of being on that, you can get citizenship. Now, some people say 2 years, some people say 3 years. Again, things aren't always, all that panned out. And I think what it is that there's a 2-year period in which you cannot leave the country for more than 90 days a year. And then it takes to the 3rd year before you can get the citizenship. Pretty sure that's the way it is. Again, these videos are more general because half the time the lawyers don't even really know, and it's a process when you get into it. But a lot of these things that we do know that we have already done, and some of them we haven't done. So like the 3 years, I've just been here 3 years, so I'm not sure how that's all going to work because my 3 years isn't up on my permanent visa yet. However, the second visa that you can get, permanent residency visa, is a work visa. Now, a visa, generally speaking, retirement visa or this type of visa, is about $1,000 per person. Now, sometimes we can get them less, sometimes they're actually more depending on what lawyer you go to, but we have lawyers through our personal helper program that can help you get them, and generally around $900 to $1,000. So, and then there's fees too, for the government fees, $250, $300 in fees. So the work visa is a business that you open, and what it is that there's two people, the president and the manager of the company. They can both get a work visa. That'll last about 2 years. Each year you renew, and after 2 years, if you're actually not doing any business, then the registration of companies will threaten that they're going to close your company next year. So you can actually get 3 years out of these work visas if you have a company that's not even doing any business. Now, if the company's legitimately doing some type of business, then you can keep that work visa going year after year as long as you want. And the third type of visa, which is to me the best one, is the investment visa. There's two types of investment visas, or two ways you can do it. The first one is put $25,000 cash US into a CD, a bank CD, and then you can get a residency visa off of that. Now, the reason I don't recommend that is because the US dollar is crashing, and you don't know when you're going to lose, how much you're going to lose that money, because that money's going down every year as silver and gold and everything else goes up. So I don't recommend it, but it is a way to do it. The other way is to purchase property in Ecuador. Now, a couple of really good things about that is that, number one, when you purchase, if you're from the United States and you purchase property outside the United States, you do not have to report it. So that's a really nice benefit. The second one is that when you purchase this property, you can get a permanent residency investment visa off the property, similar to the $25,000 CD that I just explained. There's a couple things that you could do. Number one, buy a piece of property that you're going to want to keep for yourself for at least 3 years until you can get your citizenship. Or a piece of property that you can always keep that you can rent out. So in other words, let's say that you're already renting somewhere and you buy a piece of property and you rent that property to someone else, and maybe you don't really like to live in it, but it's a really good rental. So that would be something that you could have your permanent residency visa on, because you're going to keep it for a long time. Because if you get rid of the property, again, you're going to lose the visa. Same thing happens with the CD. Same thing happens with the company. So if you have the company for 3 years and then you turn around and close the company, well, you better already have another visa set up, because you're going to lose your visa. Okay, and of course, that would also go for the retirement visa. If you lose your pension, you're going to lose your visa. So, but the visas, these permanent residency visas, are only necessary for 3 years, because at the end of the 3 years, you can go ahead and get citizenship, and then you don't have to worry about maintaining any of this stuff. So that about wraps it up for the immigration and visa video, and maybe we'll see you in Ecuador. Thank you.